What if your favorite cartoon was hiding something dark? What if Peppa Pig wasn't a sweet, giggling piglet, but a test subject in a science experiment gone horribly wrong? In this twisted horror story, Peppa and George are thrown into a nightmare after Daddy Pig opens a forbidden portal to the Backrooms. It starts with a VR game. It ends in screams. What they find inside isn't a game, and they might never come back. This is the Backrooms Experiment, a Peppa Pig horror story like you've never seen before. Stick around till the end. The final twist will leave you terrified. It started on a rainy Tuesday. Peppa stared at the headset on the table. It looked just like the VR goggles Daddy Pig had shown them last week, except now the lights pulsed. Red, then blue, then black. "Put them on, children," Daddy Pig said with a wide grin. George hesitated. "Is this another simulation, Daddy?" Daddy Pig nodded slowly. "Yes, but this time it's advanced, very real. Just remember your training." Peppa Pig should have asked more questions. She should have noticed the strange metal doors Daddy Pig had installed in the basement. She should have run when she saw the blueprints labeled Reality Interface, Backroom Test 7.3, but she didn't. She put on the headset, and the world fell away. At first, it looked like a mistake. Just an empty office with yellow wallpaper and humming lights, no doors, no windows. "Is this the new game?" Peppa asked. George held her hand tight, then they heard it. Thump, thump, thump. From behind the wall, something moved. "Daddy?" George whispered, no answer. The wall split open, and a tall, twitching figure stepped out. It wore Daddy Pig's lab coat, but its face wasn't Daddy's anymore. Its head twitched in jolts. Its smile stretched too far. Its voice glitched, WELCOME-SUBJECTS. Peppa Pig screamed. They ran. The halls went on forever. Every corner was the same. Yellow walls, buzzing lights, stains on the carpet that weren't just water. And the thing followed them, always one hallway behind. Sometimes it screamed in a voice that sounded like Mummy Pig. Sometimes it whispered numbers. 7, 4, 0, 2. They found a red door. It looked real. George pushed it open. Inside was a dining table. Mummy Pig sat there smiling, holding a plate. "Dinner, sweeties," she said, except her eyes were missing, and the food, it wasn't food. "Don't eat," Peppa Pig told George, but George stepped forward. Then the table snapped open like a mouth, teeth, real teeth, screaming. Peppa pulled George back just in time. The room melted, the yellow walls returned, and behind them the thing in the coat was now running. Peppa slammed her hands against the walls. "Exit, exit, exit!" No door, no response, no Daddy Pig. But something buzzed in her ear, a voice. "You're not in VR anymore." "Who said that?" she yelled. "You are now inside the real Backrooms." Static flooded her vision. Her headset cracked open. There was blood inside. George cried. "Daddy lied," Peppa whispered. "He didn't build this. He found it." Everything turned red. The walls dripped. The floors squished. Bones poked out of the ceiling like vents. Screams echoed far away. And some were familiar. "Susie!" Peppa shouted. A hand reached out of the wall, human, clawing. George screamed, "Run!" They ran, again, no idea where they were going. The thing in the coat wasn't chasing them anymore, but something else was. Something bigger, something hungry. They found a control room behind a false panel. Inside, dozens of screens. Test subjects, files. Peppa test subject number 31, George number 32. Mummy Pig, already marked as unstable, removed. Daddy Pig stood at the control panel. His body flickered like static, like something pretending to be him. "You weren't supposed to wake up," he said. Peppa stared nervously. "You did this to us. Why?" "I was hired. They wanted piglets with high reality resistance. Your brains are perfect," George sobbed. "Are we gonna die?" Daddy Pig smiled. "Not if you pass the final level. No lights, no walls, just black, and the hum, always the hum." A voice came from nowhere. "One must stay, one may leave." Peppa and George clutched each other. "Don't listen," Peppa said. "It's a trick." The voice repeated louder. "One must stay, one may leave." Suddenly, George Pig was pulled backward. Peppa screamed and grabbed his arm, but hands, too many hands, pulled him into the dark. His scream cut off. Silence. Then there was a bright light. Peppa woke up, back in her bed. Sunlight, her toys, her room. Was it a dream? She ran downstairs. There was George, smiling but not blinking. "Hello, Peppa," he said, voice too flat. She looked closer. George's shadow was wrong. It moved on its own. She looked outside. Daddy Pig was digging something in the yard, and beneath the ground something moved. Peppa grabbed the VR goggles, still warm. She looked inside, her face screaming. She was still in the Backrooms. This was just another level. And George, not George anymore. He turned to her slowly. "Welcome to Level Infinite, Peppa." And the lights went out. If you thought Peppa Pig was just a cartoon, think again. The Backrooms are real, and Daddy Pig, he's not who he says he is. Smash that like button, subscribe and comment, George isn't George, if you made it to the end. New terrifying horror parodies drop every week. This was the Backrooms experiment. And next time, you're the one entering the portal.